Assalamualaikum and a very good day. Today I'm going to continue our lecture on Chapter 5, Part 2 on Implementation of Management in Construction Project. So number 4 in Procurement Management, we will discuss on the elements and the process and procedure. Why we need to manage procurement? It is to ensure quality service or project acquisition and the process of identifying and acquiring the necessary goods and services to implement and complete project plans. So in procurement management, first we need to focus especially on time, cost and quality, which is also shows the performance in relation to both the design and construction of the building. The client's policies, resources, organizational structure, and preferred contractual agreement with all need to be taken into account in choosing the right procurement method for their project. For example, design and construct strategies and etc. Successful procurement relies on all parties involved in the project complying with their respective obligations and identifying and dealing with risk appropriately from the outset. So this is the procurement process, which is starting with the planning, and then after that documentation of purchasing requirement, and followed by supplier and subcontractor evaluation. After finish the evaluation of subcontractor, we will give award contract and forward to administration, doing the inspection, delivery and improvement. In procurement planning, a process of identifying the project products needs that are needed to deliver a project which satisfies the client. So it includes project scope of work, project specification and drawings, product list, company resources, product estimated value, product supply list, type of product procurement, and the competitive bids to procedure with procurement. The second process is on the documentation of purchasing requirement. Document shall identify scope, product characteristic and forms. They should include delivery dates for product. Failure to identify things that exist at outset of the procurement give rise to costly dispute in the parties. The process include prepare procurement documents, standard forms, invite contractors from approved shortlist to submit tender offers or expressions of interest, receive tender offers or expression of interest, prepare evaluation report, review procurement documents, make officials sure that financial is available. The third process in procurement management is supplier and subcontractor evaluation. So in this step, evaluation is made based on the setting criteria of the bids or proposal. So the standard items will be price and term of payment, delivery. The non-standard item is overall or life cycle cost, technical capability. Items will be price and terms of payment and delivery, while the non-standard items will be overall or life cycle cost, technical capability, understanding the needs, management of provider approach, financial capability of provider, price and technical skills, installation and testing, history with vendor organization, customer acceptance, customer feedback, and approval of selection. In a award contract, what we need to do is first to notify successful tender and unsuccessful tender outcome. Second, to compile contract document. Third, to capture contract award date. And fourth is formally accepted tender offer. In administration process, it is where the process of ensuring that contractor or supplier performance meets contractual requirement. So in this process, administer contract in accordance with the terms and provision of the contract, ensure compliance with requirement, capture contract completion and close out, and also payment. In inspection, we need to review of deliverables, none that done by a third-party inspector to capture statistics on suspected defects. Documents that need to be provided to selected third-party inspector are the copy of purchase order, approved drawings, approved specification, place of inspection, and address of owner. In delivery process, delivery should be done to site with the following documents. First, the equipment or material description, quantity, size, model, brand, equipment test certificate, equipment or material manual. So in delivery decision, need to have the decide the advantage of site store facility, radian of installation place, cash flow, installation manpower, and related interface item. In site inspection, we need to conduct visual inspection. In improvement process, project manager shall monitor the process and justify first whether the procurement satisfied the stated objective, second whether needs and expectations have achieved, third whether the procurement processes should be improved, and fourth whether the process improve cost saving or not. Number 5 in resource management is the manpower, materials and machineries. So resource management includes identifying, analyzing, deploying and monitoring the resource required to undertake the project activities. We need also to ensure insufficient resource analysis will lead to poor productivity and quality in the later stage of the project. In construction project, resources can be categorized into manpower, materials and machinery. Manpower is employ adequate workmen to execute the work, to ensure that resources are analyzed in advance into its availability, skill and capability. Establish program to develop the multi-skills of the labor resources and ensure the resources are properly trained to undertake their respective tasks in the project. We need also to manage health and safety in the project. So generally there are two types of manpower planning, which is resource smoothing and also resource leveling. Resource smoothing is done because of the time driven, means that there are limitation of time or time is fixed. So you don't have any problem with the manpower, you can hire them to the optimal level because the only problem that you have now is the time. Smoothing is to avoid sudden exaggeration of manpower because it might demotivate the workers and high turnover, which is will be affect the cost, affecting productivity, and time is paramount rather than manpower availability. So you can see here is the normal manpower efforts in construction. So avoid this kind of manpower aggregation because it will demotivate the workers, because we will hire the workers, then we will fire them after we don't want to use anymore. We just hire the workers during the peak hours. So this will motivate the workers. And this will make the fluctuation, will give will affect the productivity and also will affect the cost of the project. So therefore, in resource smoothing, what we do is we make the graph smoothly, where we increase the number of workers constantly and decrease also constantly. And we will get a good normal distribution of manpower in construction. Second is resource leveling, driven because of the limitation of manpower. Manpower is fixed. Just now in resource smoothing, time is fixed, but here in resource leveling, manpower is fixed. So you don't have any problem with the time. You are permitted to drag the time to the optimal level. So what you need to do is to avoid exceeding the available number of manpower because you are short of manpower. Thus, your activities are planned according to the available number of manpower. Manpower requirement is important rather than time. Here are only examples of resource leveling. Let's discuss. For example number 1, a company has taken a contract for landscaping of the plot of land. The job would require workers, supervisors, excavators, tractors, and a variety of trees, bushes, shrubs, besides stones in various color and shape. In order to simplify the matter, we presume that only labor would be required. Given below are necessary details of activities, their durations, and labor requirements. We have 5 activities, which is A, B, C, D, E, and working in days. This is the workers number for each activity, 2 workers, and this is the precedent or the predecessor. So a total of 4 workers are available, means 4 workers available means that maximum is 4 workers. Can we complete the job with only 4 workers? So let's do the example. Okay, step number 1, A and B no predecessor. So node 1, you have A and B. And then after that C, the predecessor is A, and D, also the predecessor is A. So from here, C and D, the predecessor from A. And then E, the predecessor is B and C. So E, the predecessor is B and C. Okay. So after that, you need to calculate forward pass and backward pass. Okay, forward pass, 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 1 is 3. So here, 5 or 3. So you will choose the highest is 5. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 plus 4 is 6. So you choose 7. Okay. And in backward pass, 7 minus 2 is 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. But you need to choose between C and D. So here is 3. And 5 minus 1 is 4. So here is 4. So you will choose the lowest, which is 3. And then 3 minus 2 is 1. And 5 minus 5 is 0. So you will choose the lowest, which is 0. So you will get this. Then you can calculate the total float, which is for A, 3 minus 2 minus 0, which is 1. B, 5 minus 5 minus 0, which is 0. C, 5 minus 1 minus 2, which is 2. D, 7 minus 4 minus 2, which is 1. E, 7 minus 2 minus 5, which is 0. So the activity that have zero float is B and E. So the critical path is BE. Critical path activity is BE, and the total duration of the project is 7 days. So next step, what you need to do is to do a bar chart. So from here you can see that A, the critical activity is B and E. So you need to draw B 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after B finish, E 2 days. Okay. And then A 2 days with 2 floats. 2 days with 1 floats. C, 1 days with 2 floats, 2 days of float. D, 4 days with 1 day of floats. And after that, you need to draw the number of workers in that day. So you have 2 workers. Every day is a 2 workers. So 2, 2, 2. Alright. And then after that, you need to total the labor requirement daily and day 1. There are 2 activities running together, which is activity A and also B. So 2 plus 2, which is 4 workers. Remember, our maximum workers is 4. Day 2, 2 plus 2 also 4. Day 3, 2, 2, 2. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. Day 4, 2 plus 2 is 4. 5, 2 plus 2 is 4. 6, 2 plus 2 is 4. And day 7, 2 workers. The maximum number of labor is 4. So the shortage supplies is on the third day, which is the total labor requirement is 6, but we only have 4. So shortage is 2. However, in day 7, we have negative 2 because the total labor requirement is only 2, but we have 4 of labor available. So we have 2 more workers that do not have any work. The surplus, okay, of 2 workers. So what we need to do is, first you need to draw a number of labor in the y-axis, number of days in x-axis. First, you need to arrange the critical activity first. Okay, critical path will have the longest duration in your network. So B 5 days. After B finish, continue with E 2 days. So B 5 days and E 2 days. And after that, you can arrange the other activity that I have flowed. First, activity A, and then here is activity C and D, and here is activity D, and E already done. Okay, so after that you can move the activity according to the float. Okay, for example, here activity D have 1 day float, so you can move this activity to the 7th day. Okay, so you can move activity to here, activity D. So you can add activity D here. Okay, it will become like this. Okay, because activity D have float until 7 days. So you will move this D to here. So D is here now because D have 1 day float, which D can start either on the 3rd day or on the 4th day. And if D start on the 3rd day, it will finish on the 6th day. But if D start on the 4th day, it will finish on the 7th day. So we rearrange so that we do not have shortage of labor. So 4 general rules in resource leveling. Number 1, never use critical activities when level the resources because critical activities do not have float. Okay, direct resources with float or lag time. Okay, do not separate or break the Gantt chart and always allocate the critical bar at the bottom of the graph. Example number 2, a project consists of 7 activities which are arranged as a network in figure 7.4, which is at the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And the resources that needed in each activity are as follows. Activity A, 20% per day for 6 days. Activity B, 15% per day for 3 days. Activity C, 15% per day for 3 days. Activity D, 10% for 3 days. Activity E, 15% for 3 days. F, 35% for 3 days. And activity G, 5% for 3 days. So you can do the network first. Okay, we will calculate the forward pass, which is 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 3 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, so 6 plus 3 is 9. 6 plus 3 is 6. Okay, because you have 3 arrows come in, so we need to select the highest value. 3 plus 3 is 6, and here 9 plus 3 is 12. So 12 is the highest value. So our total duration of the project is 12 days. And backward pass, 12 minus 3 is 9. 12 minus 3 is 9. 12 minus 3 is 9. Okay. 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. 9 minus 3 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. So 0 is the lowest. We calculate the total float of the activity. Total float is the late finish minus duration minus the early start of the project. Okay, so 6 minus 6 minus 0 is 0. B, 9 minus 3 is 6 minus 0 is 6. C, 9 minus 3 is 6 minus 0 is 6, the total float. For activity D, 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. So you got total float for activity D is 6. For activity E, 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. So total float for activity E is 6. For activity F, 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. Activity G, 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. So total float for activity A, F, and G is 0. So our critical path activity is EFG. Okay. After that, according to the highest total duration of the project, which is 12 days, we will do the bar chart and put the number of labor that have been in the question, that have been displayed in the question, where activity A is 20, B 15, C 15, D 10, E 15, F 35, and G 5. Okay, after that, we need to calculate the total requirement of the labor. For day 1, 20 plus 15 plus 15 is 50. Day 2, 20 plus 15 plus 15 is 50. Day 3, 20 plus 15 plus 15 is 50. Day 4, 20 plus 10 plus 15 is 45. Day 5, 20 plus 10 is plus 15 is 45. Day 6, total requirement is 45. Day 7, 35. Day 8, 35. Day 9, 35. And day 10 to day 12 is 5. Okay, our total labor is 35. So this is the shortage or surplus of the labor, which is 15 labors on the day 1, 2, 3, 10 labors on the day 4, 5, 6, and surplus on day 10, 11, and 12 at 30 number of manpower. Okay, 30 number of labors at 30 levels. So after that, we need to rearrange. Okay, first you need to put critical activity. So critical activity that do not have float is A, F, G. So A, day 1 to 6, F, day 7 to 9, and G, day 10 to 12. Okay, and here B and C, B and C, and D and E, and also no. Okay, that's it. And after that, we can rearrange. Okay, the number of labor, Okay, we can move activity B, activity C after B. Okay, at day 4 to 6, since activity C have 6 days of float. Okay, so we move C from here to here, and then we move D since D and E have float until day 12. So we can move D and E to here since we have surplus of labor from day 10 to 12. So it will become like this. Okay, another resource management is materials. Number one that we had done just now for the resource smoothing and also resource leveling is for manpower. Number two is material. So in resource management, we need to devising control over raw material, because the quality of the finished product is determined mostly by the quality of the raw materials. So when necessary, a resident inspector may be deputed by the QC, Control Quality Department, in the vendor's place to see the only goods in accordance with specification are supplied. It is advisable to re-inspect the raw materials before putting them to actual use. Second is fixing standards and specification. Predetermine standards and specification. The practice should be to provide quality instructions in the form of drawings showing shapes, dimensions, and specifications describing color, strength, thickness, chemical composition, and etc. Second, other than that, we need also to locating inspection points when the points at which defect occurs are wrongly located or located with delay. It hinders quality control. Therefore, there should first inspection of the raw materials at the vendor's place, then at the company plants, then at the various points during the process of production, and finally at the time of packing. The defects are likely to occur at this point. The finished goods can be cleared after obtaining OK or all correct from the QC department. And lastly, maintaining records. The quality control department is responsible for maintaining all records relating to quality inspection and control and the number of rejected. This is an example of material management flowchart which follows quality. First, we obtain the sample and acquire approval, and after it's been proved, it will be placed order and supply to site. And inspection will be done before unloading. If it is not compliant, the sample will be rejected, the material will be rejected, and the order will be placed again. Okay. uh, After the order supply to site and inspection is okay, approved, so it will be used or placed or built in accordance to the drawing specification. And after that, again, it will check the verticality and alignment and other conformance standard. If it is compliant, then it's complete. If it is not compliant, it will be rejected. Again, it will go to the construction place to use or build the materials, the construction using materials according to drawing and specification. For your information, wastage in construction site can be in between the range of 3 to 8% of total material use. So Malaysian construction industry is spending more than 20 billion in project development yearly. Imagine that if material consists of 3% of 20 billion, how much it will be? It will be 6 billion as a waste. Taken the average of 5% wastage, it will be 300 million being dumped yearly. So what can you do with those huge sum of money? Therefore, in order to minimize the wastage, please review the following fishbone chart, and of course, please tackle and manage the causes carefully. The fishbone shows the causes of wastage in construction site. It started with the monitoring and control, the experience of worker, because if the workers is not experienced, they will tend to do mistakes, and mistakes will lead to wastage. And loss or stolen, inadequate shelter for the material, quality material, supervision, requisition, which is will give extra quality or order, concrete for example, wrong order or loose material, and cutting and handling. It would actually give double or more on handling materials. No planning in cutting, for example, for steel and formwork. So they just doing wrong and get more waste for the construction. Improper handling, which is finally lead to damage of the materials. And lastly, the weather, which is a flooding, decay or spoil of material. Long exposure will cause rusty for the material and diminishing or reducing in volume of materials, which all will lead to the construction waste. So resource management number 3 is machineries, which provide adequate equipment to execute the work in project, in construction site. We need to maintain the quality of the equipment. So how we want to maintain the quality of the equipment? The final quality of the product is conditioned by the quality of the equipment and other device used. For example, the QC department, quality control department, is responsible for testing the equipment used in inspections such as gauze, which measure dimensions, electronic devices, magnetic devices, and industrial graphical instruments. Number 6 is communication management. One effective strategy might be open lines of communication that allow direct access for any employee at any level to contact upper management regarding an idea for improvement or a particular concern. prior to adopting open lines of communications, employees and management should be trained in this system. Otherwise, it will be an effective theoretical approach. It is very important that management reacts to the concerns and idea of the employees. So we need to have good communication and coordination essential to accomplish the overall goals of the project. Efficiency in building depends upon the quality of relationship between the clients, professionals, contractors, and subcontractors without lacking of cohesion within the building team. And according to Latham and Egan, as building is a people's business, relationships are critical to the efficiency in the construction sector, and emphasis should be put to improve integration, teamwork, and partnering management. So within the organization, good communication and good feedback system are important to convey ideas to the management and to incorporate the necessary changes. One effective strategy might be open lines of communication that allow direct access for any employee at any level to contact upper management regarding an idea for improvement or particular concern. It is very important that management reacts to the concerns and idea of the employees. So factors to achieve good communication in constructions are including quality techniques or tool to solve their problems. Employee survey to also can be done to determine employee attitude about quality, management, safety, and working conditions. Such a survey will serve two purposes. First, it will send a message to the employees that the management cares about the needs of its employees. Second, it will identify areas that needs to be improved. The survey can be conducted as a one-to-one interview or it be a written survey. The results of the survey should be shared with top management and with employees. Sharing the results with employees will indicate to the employees the management's sincerity. Second factor is effective top-down and bottom-up communication. Third is feedback through listening, appropriate plan, meeting, and supported body language in face-to-face communication. Fourth, operate no blame culture to ensure people are prepared to open in their communications with a willingness to learn from mistakes. That's all for chapter 5, and thank you.